Hey guys, monsterZERO here, and I am doing some gameplay in rFactor 2. Now, this is sort of going to be along the same lines as my Assetto Corsa and my Project Cars gameplay videos, testing the same car, BMW M3, like Group A, and at the same track, the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Now, unfortunately, just reset my tracker. Unfortunately, rFactor just on the graphics end for these two mods that I'm using, the Nordschleife and the BMW M3, it's just not up to snuff with the other two games. I can't fault rFactor for that. I just can't do it because a lot of the other content rFactor has graphically is pretty incredible. All right, these two mods graphically are not incredible. So, I mean, I think I made it pretty clear in my last two videos that I'm not really trying to compare the graphics of any of these games anyway. I know they're all pretty goddamn good, and I know they all shine in their respective, like, areas. This particular video is not one of rFactor's areas that it shines very well in, aftermarket mods of the Nordschleife and the BMW M3. So, really, I think you know by now, all I've been comparing is physics. And that's really all I care about anyway. I'm not so much of a graphics guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like flashy graphics. Who doesn't? But I can overlook flashy graphics in favor of, you know, flashy physics. Just unfortunately, this version of the Ring and this version of this car in rFactor are, like, particularly ugly. Like, they're pretty bad. If any of you guys know a better version of the Ring for rFactor, please let me know. I don't want to say scoured, but I was on the internet for a good half hour looking for the best version of the Ring out for rFactor 2, and I found one on drivingitalia.net. It was like, you know, the Ring Tourist version, like 1 point something or other. Or, I'm sorry, it was like version 0.67. And that seemed like the most downloaded mod. So I was like, alright, this has got to be the good one. So I went to go install it, and I actually, the version of the Ring I had installed was like a couple, you know, versions even newer than that. The version I downloaded was like 0.67, and the one I already had installed was like 1 point something, like 1.4 or 1.2. It was, you know, it was past 1.0. So I left that one installed. I'm assuming that's the newer one, you know. But if that's the case, I mean, this version really does look like shit. And I thought there was a newer version out that looked better. I still feel like there is a new version out there that looks better, but I can't seem to find it. So, whatever. I'm driving on a horribly ugly version of the Ring, but, you know, this video is more about the physics than the graphics. So don't try as best as you can to ignore the ugly graphics here. rFactor can do way better, and it does do way better. I've seen it. I've seen rFactor at its best, and it looks really good. So let's just go do a couple laps on the Ring here in our BMW M3 Group A car. Got my TH8A manual shifter hooked up, and it's working perfectly. No hitches in rFactor. Works great right out of the box, which is a breath of fresh air. Oh shit! What the hell's my pit speed limiter button? All right, there we go. Yeah, I mean, this is a mess. This track really looks like shit, but just try and ignore it. I even have it set to the same time of day as the other sims, you know, 4:30 in the afternoon, and I mean, it looks like I'm driving at noon. All right, with all that, you know, pushed to the back burner here, let's focus on Jesus. Let's focus on the physics. And I will tell you what, man. God damn, rFactor 2 has some incredible force feedback. Hands down, the best force feedback I've ever experienced in any sim ever. And I've played, I don't want to say all of them, but I've played most of them, man. You name a racing sim, and chances are I have played it. And rFactor 2 just shit. Yeah, alright. Sorry, guys. Let's head back to the pits. Let's restart this. Promise I'll drive a little more careful this time. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Alright. Yeah, the force feedback in rFactor 2 is just, I mean, it's, I don't want to say perfect, but I mean, it is goddamn perfect. It's sublime. It really is. I mean, I can feel everything the car is doing. Every little bump in the road, you name it, I can feel it. Like, this is just... I mean, who knows what the future will hold, but as of right now, this is about as good as force feedback can get. It's just so good. Holy shit, am I already at this turn? Oh my god, I am so sorry. You know what? I'll tell you what it is. Here's my excuses again. The fucking goddamn track is so shitty that I'm not recognizing any of my usual, you know, braking points, and I'm looking for like trees and the background as to like where I am on the track to get my bearings, and they are just not present in this version of the Nordschleife. So let's try and look at the track. This may be difficult getting through a clean lap here because all my braking points are fucking just scattered to the wind now. Alright, okay. I think I see where we're headed now. I promise I'll drive a little safer, a little slower this time around. But yeah, rFactor, Christ already. rFactor 2 is just... It honestly doesn't get better than this as far as force feedback goes. I mean, I wish the other sims I've been playing felt like this. Although to tell you the truth, god damn it, although to tell you the truth, maybe the unpopular opinion, Project Cars feels closer to this than does Assetto Corsa. I'm sure I could get good force feedback out of Assetto Corsa if I really dug deep. If I really dug deep in the settings and tweaked some shit, but I can't seem to get the force feedback in that game feeling as good as I can in rFactor 2, or rFactor 1, or even Project Cars, for that matter. I just cannot seem to get it to that level. Holy crap, this track is ugly. Like I said, no fault of ISI's. This is not rFactor's fault how ugly these two mods are. And I'm sure at a later date I will do a video of some of the better rFactor mods, especially considering that the NSX, you know, by Niels, well, Physics by Niels is out, and even the Corvette C6, I believe, as of today, is out. So I'm super psyched to try those two cars on a track that looks good. But for the sake of consistency, I'm sticking with the Ring. It's the best version I can find. And I'm sticking with an M3 Group A from the Touring Car Legends mod. Which is, graphically, the Touring Car Legends mod is significantly behind the curve. But physics-wise, it's one of the better mods out there for rFactor 2. Same for rFactor 1. It's one of my favorite mods for rFactor 1, the Touring Car Legends mod. It just feels really, really good. Like, really good. I don't want to comment as to whether it feels accurate or not, because I don't know. I've never driven a fucking Touring Car Legend. But the mod feels really good in rFactor 1 and 2. Definitely one of my favorite mods for either platform. Oh my god, the force feedback is just so incredible. As ugly as this track and car combination is, I'm having more fun with this, you know, setup than I was in either Project Cars or Assetto Corsa. Just top notch, the physics and the force feedback, just absolutely top notch. I really almost have no idea where the fuck I am because this track is so ugly. Alright, okay, I see where I'm at now. All my familiar landmarks, you know, for judging braking distance and, you know, where I am on the track is just gone in this version. Why hasn't somebody made a better version of the Ring for rFactor 2? Why haven't they? Maybe they have. I mean, I just haven't found it, but it's frustrating. I mean, it's frustrating to see rFactor not getting the same kind of love that Assetto Corsa is getting. You know, there's a beautiful version for Assetto Corsa. Great version for Project Cars. Obviously, that is in-house, developer-made. But, you know, rFactor, man, just please give me a good version of the ring. Even iRacing is coming out with a laser scan version of the ring. Been lifting a lot there. We'll pick the time up on our second lap, our timed lap. Gearing seems way taller in this car than it did in either of the other two games I just recently played. Gearing is way taller. Way taller. Oh my god, the force feedback is so good. Every little change in camber on the road, you feel instantly through the wheel. It's just incredible, the force feedback. Just incredible. I would play rFactor 2 so much more than I do now, which is admittedly not a lot, if they had a strong single-player mode. But the single-player mode in rFactor 2 is just, I mean, it's just shit. It sucks. There's just really nothing, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe one of you guys can correct me, but there's just really nothing for a single-player type player out there for rFactor 2. There just isn't. I don't see any way of doing a full championship. The tracks just aren't there for rFactor 2 like they were for rFactor 1 or even any of the newer sims like Assetto Corsa. The selection of vehicles and tracks to race on is very limited. And besides that, the options for any kind of, you know, fun shit in single-player mode is limited, like championships. Like I said, why did they get rid of that? You know, in rFactor 1, I could go make my own championship. Holy shit. Well, it just kind of shows you. I'm not a good driver, and the rFactor 2 physics engine is incredible, so you put those two together, and that equals crashes. Haven't played rFactor 2 in a while. I don't seem to be damaged. I may possibly have damage off. Because the car feels good, still driving fast. Shit, man, shit. I am just all over the goddamn place. This car is challenging to drive in this game, man. Holy shit, it is challenging. Let's see if I can cycle through my, yeah, there we go. Oh, invulnerable. Holy shit, I have ABS on as well. That's embarrassing. This car does not have ABS from the factory. Well, at least I know I'm invulnerable. That's good. I apologize for having ABS on.
That lap was a 8:25.84.
Oh my god, the fucking announcer scared the shit out of me. I have headphones on and I'm alone in my apartment. And I'm talking to you guys all of a sudden like, that lap was a blah. Holy shit, I have chills running down my goddamn spine. That fucking terrified me. Oh my god, be ready for that next lap. Jesus Christ. I am still fucking shaking from hearing that goddamn voice out of nowhere. I was not expecting that. Alright, anyway, so we've gotten... Jesus, that was fucking spooky. Either way, we've established that I have invulnerability on, so next time I wreck, which I'm sure will happen, don't worry about stopping. Let's try and click off a faster lap than last time. Now I'm going to be driving a little more ballsy since I know I'm invulnerable, so it's not really fair to compare this time against the other two where I didn't have invulnerability on, but regardless. Shit! What did I say? God damn, I am so sorry, guys. This is not cool, what I'm doing right now. Let's get serious. I'm flicking through my LCD screens, just fucking goofing around. Alright, let's get back to my main fucking page here. Alright, right there. There we go. And let's start getting serious here. I keep wanting to mention how good the force feedback is. I'm sure I already did that before, but it can't be said enough. The force feedback in this game is absolutely top-notch. It's just top fucking notch. It feels so good. If there was some kind of single-player career mode in this game, I would be playing it more than anything else. But unfortunately there isn't. So I will stick with Project Cars, Assetto Corsa, and even the older generation of Sims like rFactor 1. rFactor 1 nailed it. rFactor 1 has everything I'm looking for in a single-player experience. Everything. rFactor 2 just does not. We're not talking about multiplayer here because, in my opinion, none of the mainstream Sims has good multiplayer. The only good multiplayer experience, in my opinion, is iRacing. Whose physics I am not in love with, but the multiplayer is second to none in iRacing. There we go, driving careful now. Not looking at anything else other than the fucking road. Already running low on fuel. Well, same deal in the Assetto Corsa. I ran out of fuel on my second lap, so who knows, man. Maybe Project Cars was the unrealistic one in that sense. Because that's sort of the odd man out. My 20 liters of fuel in Project Cars lasted forever. Which is not doing that here in rFactor 2 nor Assetto Corsa. Focus on the road, no talking. Flat out, let's try and go here. Not so much on the flat out. Very nervous in this car, in this game. It's pretty terrifying, actually. Shit, was I in 5th? God damn it. Dropped down to 1st for the carousel on this lap. I took it way too hot last time. And I'm out of the groove. That was my fault. I took it way too fast. gearing is so tall in this car. Shit! Wide. Alright, saved it. Damn it. It's like I almost have no fucking idea where I am on the goddamn track. I mean, I know the track itself, but having a version of the track this shitty looking really shows you what you're paying attention to when you're driving. And in my case, it is not necessarily the track surface all the time. It's the... God damn it! Second fucking time. Yeah, this track is just... It's just horrible. I'm sorry, this fucking track sucks, man. There's gotta be a better version of the ring out there for rFactor 2. There's gotta be. And who knows, maybe not. And I mean, if there isn't, then I guess that just goes to show you how, you know, unfortunately unpopular fucking rFactor 2 is. And if that's the case, then it's kind of a shame. I mean, this game is just, it feels incredible. It is just so much better feeling than anything else out there right now. You know, it's just a real shame that, not more people are playing it. There's not more content for it. You know, maybe if they... Maybe what they need is to, like, overhaul their fucking multiplayer system, you know? Maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need to just scrap everything multiplayer and switch to an iRacing type service. Because this feels way better than iRacing. Way better. I don't even like iRacing the way it feels. I just like the multiplayer. I mean, if they could somehow switch to an iRacing style...
The lap was a 8:03.41.
Gotta shut that fucking announcer off for the next time I race. Well, that was fast. I mean, compared to what I'm used to. I think it had a lot to do with the gearing, because I was all over the goddamn track and I crashed on every lap I raced on. But I still pulled, you know, 30 seconds faster than I did in Project Cars and about 20 seconds faster than I did in Assetto Corsa. So, I think gearing was the key here. Even at slow speeds, just driving here, the force feedback just feels so good. I mean, it feels like I'm driving a actual car with no power steering. Like, that's what it feels like to me. It feels so good. Every little bump, every going up on the curb, just absolutely incredible. It just feels so good. It feels so fucking good. So much better than anything else out there. That's really all I have. It's just unfortunate that the content for rFactor 2 is lacking so severely, you know, and the single player options. Man, I would kill to be able to make my own championship in rFactor 2. And I don't know, you know, maybe you can. Maybe I just missed it. But I haven't seen a way, you know, all this time to do any kind of offline championship. So, let me know if you guys have. That's pretty much what I got. rFactor 2. Force feedback, physics, out of this world. Content, not out of this world. Well within this world, so... Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one.